Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And we're back. And I view this time of the year as a change of season. School starts. We're going to see less light. Of course, we have September kicking in here. It's almost like a clean slate for a new beginning. And with that, maybe now is the time to potentially move your life forward and get some help with that, like a life coach, or maybe somebody that can help you master your life. And that would be Thomie Campbell. She is a life mastery consultant, and she joins us back on the program. Dr. Thomie, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. You know, in my video podcast, I always start out saying, "Hello, world. This is Dr. Thomie." So,
well, there you go. You just did.
yeah.
Yeah. And when we say Thomie, we talked about this last time, but I think it's so unique. The spelling of your name is Thomi, right?
Thomie.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. Very unique. Give me that again. How did you get that name?
Well, it's part of my name, but my father was Thomie. So I just took on that and just cut off the Thomasine and made it Thomie with my spelling as opposed to his spelling. So
gotcha. Now I can't remember, was his name Tommy or no?
His name is Thomie.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But he was a Y-I-E. Well, his was Thomie. And his sister was Thomie, Thomie. I'm like, wow, why did they do that? And so now here I come with Thomie. So
it's almost like you're Thomie number one, there's Thomie number two, there's Thomie number three, something like
yes,
that.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the time for us to look at our lives, maybe make some changes. And with that, you have all different programs to help somebody get some coaching. What is life mastery? Before we even begin, like we have a life coach, we have a wellness coach, there's all different types. Life mastery. Right. Explain.
Yes, life mastery is not something that you hear every day. It's not really common, but so a life mastery consultant is one who help you learn how to rely on and believe in your own unlimited potential and your own power, as opposed to a life coach. They just guide you through steps to get to the next point. Well, as a mastery consultant, we go much deeper than that. We dive into the whole person. And so we unravel things that are like deep-seated and holding you back. And so we also pull out things that you already know about yourself, just this innate being. And we help you to pull out those experiences, say like flashes. You have flashes of what you see yourself as, or where you want to be. So we pull those out. We help you with those. It's the intuitive knowledge that you have, but do not know what to do with it. So we help you to dive into those intuitive knowledges and the big thinking, and have you wondering how far you can go in life. And so we help you with that. And so as a master consultant, I'm here to help you to stir up that innate knowing, and to get that gut feeling. You have that gut feeling that is already instilled within you, and help pull it forward to make that new person that's seeping to come out and fighting with the old person that's wanting not to stay or go forward. So
I love the way you do what you do, Thomie, because if it was easy enough, we'd all be moving our lives forward. Why wouldn't you? You know,
right.
Maybe make more money if that's your goal, feel fulfilled, find your life purpose, all of those things. But there are things that hold us back. And if I'm getting it right from what you're saying, unlike a traditional life coach, you go layers deeper to figure out where the block is. How come we haven't stepped on the gas and powered through with our lives to make them that much better? You have a bunch of different programs. Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, so we have Standing Firm. I have Standing Firm, and that one is for people that are grieving or suffering from a loss, like a loss of a job, a loss of a relationship, or lost, or just due to past experiences, feeling loss of self. And this is a 1-month commitment. And with this one, I can give an example why you would want this one. So I had a client that contacted me for a recent loss. She was grieving a loved one. And as we talked about her grieving and went through the program, we learned that it wasn't just the loss of this recent loved one, but she was in a relationship like 30 years back, and she never had closure to this relationship. And so that was holding her back. And then she found herself to bypass her own hurt and pain. She started clinging to people that were in need. Someone, she became a crutch. She just seemed to be a magnet to people that were in need. So she was always doing and giving for other people and hiding her own pain. And so here, moving forward, she was able to discover that she was holding on to pain from over 30 years ago.
Wow. That's powerful stuff. And I can relate to that because I know somebody who is just like that. And she's always doing stuff for everybody else, but never really focuses so much on herself. And she's always staying busy, got something going on. But I think she's afraid to have those quiet moments where she's going to realize internally that she is running from something.
Yeah. So we had some very deep conversations, and she became, very tearful in several of the sessions, but that was just a cleansing. So that's just an example of standing firm. You're learning how to stand firm when your world around you seems to be just falling apart.
Wow. So that's that program called Standing Firm?
Yes, that's a 1-month commitment. And then for Dream Builder, this is a 3-month commitment. And this is for those who are feeling stuck or undeserving. For example, if it feels like you keep making the same mistakes or choosing the wrong relationships or cannot seem to get ahead, this intense weekly sessions unfolds the mystery behind your feelings and help guide you onto the path that you dream of having.
And how long is that program?
This one is 3 months.
Got it. Is there homework involved here?
There's homework involved in every program. And so you have to be dedicated and willing to go through the steps in order to become this other person you decide to become. So the third popular program is the Life Mastery Program. Now, this is a 6-month commitment, and it is extremely intense. And this includes the Dream Builder, which affects every area of your life. We look at every area of your life. And in this intense session, you discover your potential to build the life that you aspire to have. And the lessons within this program transform your way of thinking. You learn to become grateful in situations that would ordinarily weigh you down. So in this one, if I may be transparent here, I can use myself as an example for this one. In the last week, I was in a session with a potential client, and I used myself as an example to explain to her how this program worked. And in doing so, I let her know that things were going great for me at one while. I mean, I was on my natural high, and I was ready to take my career to the next move. And what happened was, because I had so many projects going on, that I told myself that I wasn't tech savvy enough to do some of the things that I needed to have done. I didn't have the time to spend to learn it or to do anything else other than what I was focused on. So I hired 2 different companies to one to do my marketing and the other to do my video editing and to enhance my social media. Well, neither fulfilled their contract. So now, and I had spent a substantial amount of money, and
Mm.
So although I was in sessions with my clients, I wasn't there presently. I wasn't really present in the sessions because my mind was on the mode of feeling bad about allowing myself to get duped, or I was spending time as a bill collector.
Mm.
So I wasn't prepared in coming to some of my sessions. It wasn't fair, to anyone. But anyway, after grasping how this was affecting me and my clients, I had decided I better put my clients first. So month after month, as clients graduated, I found myself going after these companies. And so in doing so, many months more passed, and had gone through a realization of needing to snap back. So I was spending more time trying to recoup my money than I was on my other projects or myself. So I closed my sessions. So after closing my sessions for a while, and continued with my current clients, I learned that patience is really a virtue. So this is my pulling out the good in something that, happened that wasn't so good. So I learned that patience is really a virtue. I wanted more and I wanted it fast. So now what I do, I teach myself how to do my technical components. I teach myself how to do the marketing. It's a slow process, but I'm a better person for it. So I had to snap back and go back into what I'm teaching everyone else. So
I'm sorry that that happened to you. And before you revealed that these companies duped you, I almost got excited because I thought you were going to say that you push stuff off your plate so you could make room for other things. You delegated, and what a perfect scenario. And I got you there. It's like when you do the right thing, you're always, this is the way it should be done, fair. And then you encounter people that don't. It just gets inside you and rubs you the wrong way. And especially, when you're doing that to help other people as well, to let them
right,
know that you're there to help them.
right.
So I can see how I can feel your pain. I really can.
Yeah, so I had to reach into what I teach everybody else, and I had to follow my own program.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes it takes one of those moments, and sometimes it's an expensive moment at the same time. But
mhm.
I guess that's how we learn. Um, did you ever recoup anything from these companies, or you just had to write it off?
I did not recoup. Recoup. One actually came back and said they will fulfill what the contract. And what happened was they went in and they did a little work, but it was nothing.
Yeah.
It actually made more work for me. So
They were trying to make it look like they really wanted to make good on it, but
they did it
they would have done it.
right.
Yeah.
So
Well, again, a lesson. Uh,
yes.
and in all ways, I think we've all been there, whether, you bought a car from a dealership and there's issues and they didn't take care of it, and on and on and
Mhm.
on. But yeah, there is patience is involved sometimes. And when it's inside and it just rubs you the wrong way, you put everything
And
away.
there were good cause for me to be really angry and frustrated in doing it all. I really wanted to be angry and frustrated, but I couldn't get angry. Yes, I was frustrated because, hey, this is my money. I worked hard for this,
Yep.
and it doesn't come easy. So um, I stayed in good spirit though, even though my mind was occupied.
Hmm.
I stayed in good spirits.
Good for
So
you.
the life mastery, it helps. It helps to change your way of thinking. Truly, it's a life experience. So
Well, I guess it's always been said that you can only control what you can control, and you did
mhm,
everything you could with these companies up until this point.
right,
There's nothing more you can do. Take
right,
them to court, small claims. Is it worth it? You lay
right.
all that stuff out. If you have an attorney, there's expense involved in that. I want to go back to something you said before, Thomie.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, we're talking with Thomie Campbell, who is a life mastery consultant. You can find her at, I want to make sure I get it right, DR as in doctor, DRTHOMIE.com, drthomie.com.
That's correct.
Okay. You mentioned going with your gut before.
Hmm.
When you go with your gut, or you get that sensation, feeling that it's your
Mhm.
gut. How do you know it's your gut?
Well, if it doesn't leave you, and if I can use myself as an example.
Please do.
Okay. So that gut feeling that I get when it's something that is really meant to be, I can't rest. I'm really antsy about it. I have to keep researching it. I have to do something. I have to make one step, two steps. I have to do something. So when something just doesn't leave you, you know it's meant to be. You know it's your gut.
Hmm.
You're asleep, you fall asleep and you dream about it, you wake up, you're thinking about it. It's constantly on your mind. You're at work or you're doing something else, even at play, and that thought comes to mind and you're thinking of ways that you can do this or you can see yourself in it. And that's probably the biggest clue, when you can see yourself in it.
Like you don't even have to try to visualize. What would that be like? It's already happening. It's like
Exactly.
it's almost you can push it away, but you don't want to push it away because it seems so real. What
Mhm.
about when you have to make a decision, this or that? How do you know the feeling that you get from your gut?
Okay. Me again. So I have that vision. I can see myself on the stage. I can see myself online talking to clients. I can see myself, sitting across from the client. It's always a client, and I'm always helping someone. But then there's something that is conflicting with that, and it's like for me, it's like no, this is where I'm supposed to be. So that decision is going to go where my gut is.
Do you get a lighter feeling when it's one thing over the other? Like, does it
Yes.
feel lighter and airier whereby if you have to make a decision and here's the other thing, and it's just like, it's kind of heavy. And then
Mhm,
I second guess it. I'm learning not to,
mhm.
but when it's the gut feeling and it's lighter, I almost feel guilty because it's too easy.
That gut feeling and that lightness is your your true feeling.
Yeah.
So that was the same thing I faced when I think I told you last session, that I had a decision to continue the doctorate program that I was on, or versus going into the pastoral doctorate program. And it was like the money or my passion. The first one was, this is not the time to lose my thought, but um, organizational leadership, that was for money. My true passion in life had been studying pastoralship. So when I made that decision to let go of the other, that everything just seemed so light, everything fell right into place. I thought that I was going to lose those credits because I'd already completed the program, but I got half of those units and I was able to go. I mean, everything fell right into place. It was just an awakening. It was just such a good, refreshing feeling.
Mm, good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Listen, we have instant feedback. And you can reach us anytime, instantfeedback, steve@gmail.com. This is from Jezebel in Cincinnati, Ohio. Apparently, she heard what we were talking about previously or a little while
Mhm.
ago. And she says, I've been divorced for almost 2 years and find myself finding relationships with people who have lots of anxiety. Why do you think I always gravitate toward these people? Now, I know we talked before
Mhm.
that if you keep finding the same thing within relationships, that's one of the things that you peel the layers back as a life mastery consultant and figure it out.
Right. So every person is different, but I can say a common denominator with that is that you're not focusing on yourself. You're not putting yourself first.
Hmm. Okay. And could that be? Now, I recently heard this term, broadcast message. Now, not in the traditional sense that you might be thinking,
Mhm.
but when we send out signals, and anybody in the animal kingdom does, it's all
It's
vibrations.
natural. Uh-huh.
You're broadcasting a certain message out, and if you
Mhm.
haven't fixed things within, like you just said,
Mhm.
Jezebel not potentially not spending a lot of time on herself, she
Mhm.
might be. broadcasting a message that, hey, I'm here to help anybody that has anxiety. I'm like you had mentioned before,
A magnet.
a magnet.
Hmm.
Right. Hmm. So what's your advice in terms of working on herself more?
I would say take a pause. Take a pause from relationships and build the relationship with yourself first.
And do you think that's true for finding a lot of the same types of people?
I do. I would think that would be the flat common denominator with everyone in relationships, and even if it's not a love relationship, just in drawing people, to us in associations. If we're not comfortable, confident, and truthful to ourselves, we tend to meet the same people because we give ourselves to them instead of giving ourselves to ourselves.
Love that. And do you think that she might be sending a message out there? Hey, I'm here to help you. Just
Yes, when her lack of, I'm not saying that you're confident, I mean, not confident, Jezebel, but that's typical. You may feel that you are, but people can read when you're not. So they predators prey on those that they feel are not confident.
and easy targets.
An easy target.
So maybe all these people that she's meeting that have lots of anxiety, they need somebody to dump on, so to speak.
And that's true. I mean, we're taking that lightly, but that is really, it's true.
Yeah.
Just like, we need someone to show us love. They need someone to give them pity, show them pity, have pity on them.
And that could be any situation. If it's not anxiety, it could be whatever. And you're that person. Jezebel's that person that
So true.
they're seeking out. Okay, great. Makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
And I've heard that too. You got to work on yourself before you can
Help someone else.
Yeah, exactly. So with your programs, how do you know, or how does somebody know which one is right for them? They reach out to you, kind of give you their scenario, their situation, and then you kind of guide them?
That's true. You would contact me. We would have a strategy session, and in that strategy session, we define what it is that you need, and if any of my programs are fit for you.
Easy to go to your website, and that's how they find out?
Easy peasy.
Yeah. You love what you do, don't you?
I really do.
Yeah. And it shows. Like, I can feel your energy and your vibration, that you light up knowing that you can help other people.
Hmm. I told you, it's just as fulfilling for me as it is for the client.
I've often heard from people that are in your line of work, and actually somebody, I think you might have said, this isn't work. This is, it's my life, and I love helping people, and I get compensated for it, which, that's how it all works. But you gain as much from somebody else as they gain from you.
Yes, I tell you, me personally, every time I meet with someone and we have a personal goal met, or they have an epitome or something, at the end of the session, I always like, thank you, God. I'm cheering, right? So that's
It's
me.
your validation for you're doing what you
For
should.
doing what I do, yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. Tell me again how this all began for you. Like that moment where you said, I got to be doing this.
Just going through a lot of stress at work and working long hours. And then I had, like I said, I had a dark moment. It was stemmed from a work situation, a workplace bullying situation. And I went through this dark place for a while. And when I came out of it, or through it, I decided, do I want to pursue the money, or do I want to pursue my passion? Because corporate just is not for me. And I had already been doing life coaching. And so I decided to make a career out of it. So that was my transition.
So we have a minute or so left. I'm going to get a little personal here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
See that door right in back of me?
It's in the corner. Yes.
In the
Uh-huh.
corner. Walking through that door in 5 seconds from right now is that person that bullied you at that job.
No.
What do you want to say to him?
Thank you. Actually, because you pushed me into my passion.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't see the light in the darkness, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
drthomie.com, DRTHOMIE. She's a life mastery consultant. She'll help you master your life. I'm still working on that. I haven't figured that out. It's and life coaches are great, but when you go deeper and you go to the root of the challenge and not just kind of skim the surface, which you do in terms of going deep, powerful stuff there, and lots of other programs too that can fit just about everybody. Schedule too. It's convenient, right?
Yes. So can I mention this for quick? We have time for me to mention. I do have.
Listen. Take all the time you want. I'm kicking that person out of here. They're gone.
Right.
Take all the time you want.
So I want to say that my schedule is back open. I have those that are graduating, and so my schedule is back open. And I have 2 group sessions that are available for October. I've already gone through my waiting list, and I did have clients, still available. So now I only have 2 group sessions. Group sessions are for 2 to 6 people. And those sessions are great because you have a greater support system. And then I have only 6 individual sessions available for October, but I am booking throughout November. And if you mention the promo code October 22, I am offering a discount rate. So for the group sessions, it's normally $1,500, I would say $1,499. It's reduced to $1,150. And for the individual sessions was usually $21. And with the October 20 promo code, it's reduced to $1,700.
Okay. And when you say the group sessions, am I visualizing like a group Zoom video and everybody's together at the same time?
Right. Together, you're going through the program together. You can uplift each other, and you share thoughts, and right.
So just one question that pops in my head in that kind of situation. Now you got all different people, say, 6 in a session.
Mm-hmm.
How long are the sessions? Because once people start talking, it can, time can crack up there.
Well, and that's where I come in too, trying to keep people on track. But for the individual sessions, it's 45 minutes. And for the group session, it's an hour and a half.
Got it. Good stuff. It's something we all need. And again, brand new season, take a look at it as a time of change and move your life forward, or at least at the very least, figure out what's going on in your life. Because like Jezebel probably didn't know that she might want to work on herself before trying to jump into relationships with other similar people that she's not looking for. Dr. Thomie, great having you on today, and a lot of insight. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. And Jezebel, give me a call.
Yeah, there you go. drthomie.com, Dr. Thomie, and we'll catch up next time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.